Okay, this is the critical final game. My opponent is 2486 and I am at 2495. A win with black will put me over that magic 2500 barrier. And of course, we're going to go back to our old faithful King's Indian. And my opponent gets to a variation that we had earlier in this series with this Bishop f5 against the Fianchetto system. And Rook e1, I believe, is most critical. And I face that probably most frequently. And there are moves with the knight. I mean, knight e1 and knight h4, easy memory marker. They're both met by bishop e6. And you get this type of position where white has a little bit extra space. But we've got flexibility in time, and we can make the most of our position. Like, I don't mind this. It's solid. My opponent, on the other hand, plays b3. And another memory marker when playing this is if they don't do something to stop you from playing knight e4, typically knight e4 is going to be the move. And the follow-up, which I didn't miss this time, I played bishop c8 in the previous game. I play bishop e4, and I get this slow play into a solid Grunfeld structure. And like I said, I'd had positions very similar to this before. Bishop f1, I decide to create the imbalance. I give my opponent the bishop pair. So when his structure's ruined, he's got the bishop pair. Can I get rid of your bishop pair? And he should say, no, you may not. I like my bishops. And we get this type of game. But he plays f4, and I get rid of the bishops. So now, this is my favorite type of chess game to play. Objectively, it's equal. But I am comfortable all day long with black. I mean, my pawns definitely don't. My pawns are not where they should be for facing his bishop. I'm slightly worse, but the burden of proof, especially in a blitz game, is on white, and I can just shuffle my pieces and play faster than you. So you're going to have to come after me in order to make this happen. So I play h5 first of all to stunt him from doing it at some point and slow it down. And when he goes c5, I'm already eyeing the potential that at some point I'm going to play b6 to crack this position open, but there's no hurry. Let's just play some moves in the meantime. And that b6 move, it should come now because we could coordinate very easily. But I'm like, okay, it could come anytime. King g7, queen c7, and I prep it like, all right, no pins. And notice, I'm not doing anything other than just probing. Knight g4 was to get him to kick me. His king is now open in every endgame. b5, not doing anything. You've got to prove it. Bothering that pawn. And finally, b6. We got our breakthrough. And sometimes the technique in chess is just to be patient. And this is probably one of the number one mistakes I see my students make is they always feel the need to be like doing something or pressing the attack. Sometimes simple maneuvering. Like I knew the plan in the position, but white has a lot of chance to go wrong, so let your opponent beat himself. Play fast. Don't use your energy. Takes. Now I should play c takes b5 here. And this is just kind of a ridiculous ending that I didn't even consider. I did consider this ending, though. Knight takes b6, followed by knight c4, where there's no way for him to defend that pawn. And I felt that this should be a win for black. The coordination of the pieces is just too good. White's king is open, the doubled F pawns are bad, the D pawn is bad, it's just everything. And if I was in possession of any tactical sense whatsoever, and not just focused on squeezing my opponent to death, I would find the very simple knight e3 and just win. But I'm like, all right, we're going after this d-pawn. We're going to trade the rooks off. We're going to win this ending. Knight a5. I'm looking at the long-term stuff instead of just like just win the game. Gah. Takes, 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 takes. Nothing he can do. I grab the pawn. And I just hate missing the stupid, simple things. Knight f5. Protect your investment. A pawn. Another one falls. Nothing much he can do in the position. And he resigned, putting me past that magical 2,500 barrier. Hopefully you've enjoyed going through the extension of Quest to 2,400. The quest is over at this point at 2,500, but game analysis is not. I continued and played a number of games, hopefully a lot of which you'll find interesting. We'll have another series coming up pretty soon, and we'll see what comes next. Don't forget to be sending your games in to me. As always, check out things on Chessable. If you enjoy a lot of the lines that I play, typically they come from my books or potential future projects I'm interested in doing, always thinking about writing. And you can support us through Palm Beach Chess Patreon. Starting to get quite a cache of videos on the Palm Beach Chess Patreon. Lots of opening series and different things that we do not have on the YouTube channel or Chessable. So if you like our content, check it out. As always, thank you for support. Like and subscribe. Do all the things to show the love. Thanks.